trying to coddle him for? Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
What you want to do? What you want to do? You from here?
Yeah, I'm from here. Yeah, I'm from here.
All right, so...
Oh, hell, y'all, let's go.
What's up with you?
I've already made my peace with it, because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's going to turn out.
The world isn't just talking right now, it's in complete disbelief. King Harris, the son of hip-hop royalty T.I. and Tiny, is fighting for his life in an ICU bed. And what happened to him may go far deeper than anyone imagined. This isn't just some prison fight gone wrong. What insiders are calling a coordinated hit has rocked the industry, sparked protests, and sent shockwaves through Atlanta's streets. And while fans are holding candles and hashtags like #PrayForKing are climbing to the top of Twitter, the silence from officials has only made one thing clearer with each passing hour: this was no accident.
Son, think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas? His ass going to prison. If you goddamn keep that shit up, his ass going to prison.
But that's just scratching the surface. Inside a cold ICU room in Atlanta, machines beep steadily, nurses whisper behind sterile curtains, and a 19-year-old King Harris lies unconscious, clinging to life. Tubes run across his body, monitors track every fragile heartbeat. And outside the glass, his family shattered, but this wasn't just the aftermath of a scuffle. According to prison insiders, this was one of the most brutal, calculated beatdowns the facility has ever seen. They say King wasn't in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was chosen. Outside the prison, fans have flooded Atlanta Medical holding candles, chanting King's name, refusing to leave. Social media exploded within hours. Justice.
What you want to do? What you want to do? You from here?
Yeah, I'm from here. Yeah, I'm from here.
All right, so...
Oh, hell, y'all, let's go.
What's up with you?
For King. And actors Pray for King didn't just trend. They consumed timelines, turning a personal tragedy into a national emergency. And yet, while the world prowls, it gets darker. Inside the ICU, it's eerily quiet, except for the cold mechanical beeping of monitors. Every sound feels louder in a room where life itself hangs by a thread. King Harris, just 19, lies motionless under a web of wires and tubes, bruises covering his face, his chest rising with difficulty. He's not just another patient, he's the son of T.I. and Tiny.
Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
And right now, he's the center of a storm that's gripping the rap world, the justice system, and every single fan who ever watched the Harris family shine. But this wasn't some random altercation behind bars. The injuries King suffered were so brutal, trauma to the skull, internal bleeding, signs of blunt force, that several medical professionals allegedly told the family this wasn't a fight. This was a takedown. Some even hinted that what happened to King resembled a targeted assassination, not a prison dispute. Inside reports say it happened fast. No warning, no buildup, just a sudden, savage ambush. And at the exact moment of the attack, something chilling happened. Prison security cameras cut out. The same cameras that run 24/7 in nearly every corner of that facility went dark, no footage, no witnesses on record, just silence. And outside the hospital, that silence was swallowed by chaos. Fans flooded the streets, lining sidewalks, holding signs with King's photo. Dozens turned into hundreds. Online, there were no slow reactions. Hashtags like #PrayForKing and #Justice. For King went worldwide within hours. Memes, tributes, and desperate calls for answers filled every feed. Celebrities began chiming in, rappers, athletes, influencers. But while the world was lighting candles, something else was already being buried. Within hours of King's hospitalization, whispers turned into theories. Then the theories turned into something far more dangerous: evidence. According to correctional staff and insiders close to the case, this wasn't some prison beef that got out of hand. It was a blueprint, a setup, carried out with chilling precision. Multiple inmates told investigators off the record he didn't stand a chance. It was already in motion before he got to that unit. And here's where it gets even more suspicious. The prison's surveillance system. Every hallway, every common area, even small talk during lunch, it's all recorded inside these facilities. But during the exact time frame when King was attacked, the cameras suddenly malfunctioned. The prison blamed it on a power fluctuation, but a source inside says the footage wasn't lost. It was erased, on purpose. Then came the leak that shook the internet. A nurse's voice, tired, scared, and fading in and out of a phone-recorded message saying just 6 words, "This wasn't random. This was a setup." That single line set social media ablaze. Comment sections exploded. News outlets began framing their reports not as a violent attack, but a coordinated hit on the son of a rap mogul. Reddit threads stretched miles long. Instagram conspiracies stacked faster than anyone could fact check. And yet, no arrest, no suspect, no official footage, nothing. But listen to this. Even King's family believes something bigger is at play. As more details, or the lack of them, started coming to light, a chilling theory began gaining traction. King Harris wasn't the real target. He was the message and the person it was meant to shake. His father, T.I. See, T.I. isn't just a rap icon. He's a businessman, a mogul, and more importantly, a man with a long list of enemies. Over the years, he's been tied to industry feuds, street beefs, and dangerous controversies, some of which were never fully resolved. Now, people are asking whether someone from those shadows finally decided to strike by going after what meant most to him. Insiders close to the family say T.I. received several strange messages in the weeks before the attack. Cryptic DMs, untraceable calls, no direct threats, just silence that felt loud. And with no signs of prison gang activity involved in the incident, people are asking the hard question, did this hit come from the outside? It's not a stretch. King was moved to a specific wing of the prison just 1 week before the attack, a wing known to house high-risk inmates supposedly on lockdown. Yet, somehow, the attackers had access to him with no guards intervening until it was too late. Coincidence or choreography? But that wasn't the only clue that had the streets talking. T.I. himself may have seen it coming. In an old interview, clipped and reposted after the attack, T.I. looked directly at the camera and said, "I told my son, keep acting like that and prison's gonna take you, but when it does, it won't be the justice system that breaks you. It'll be what's hiding inside it haunting words, or was he already aware of something deeper, something none of us saw coming?" And what happened next only made those suspicions stronger. As King lay unconscious, the world saw a different side of the Harris family. Not the celebrity power couple, but 2 broken parents watching their child fight for his life. Outside the ICU, T.I., usually composed, always in control, was seen crying into his hands, his knees buckling under the weight of it all. In a moment caught on camera, he whispered, "I don't care about justice. I just want my boy to live." That clip alone racked up millions of views in just hours. Raw, heartbreaking, and painfully real. Inside, Tiny collapsed in the hospital hallway, screaming, "Why my baby? Why him?" Nurses rushed over as she sobbed uncontrollably. Fans outside heard the cries through the glass. Some wept, others screamed, and all of it, the pain, the desperation, the emotion, was captured and posted online, turning this tragedy into a global event. But the real explosion came with what they found next. Just when the public thought they'd heard the worst, a voice recording leaked online, and it shattered any illusion that this was just prison violence. In the clip, a man, shaky and out of breath, says, "They told us to make it look like a fight, but the target was King. They wanted him down no matter what." The authenticity of the voice is still under debate, but that didn't stop it from going viral within minutes. Comment sections blew up. Fans dissected the audio. TikTok videos added subtitles, theories, timelines, and voice analysis. If the leak is real, it confirms what many feared from the start. King didn't get caught in chaos. He was the purpose of it. Adding to the weight of the leak, prison staff came forward anonymously, saying they were instructed to stay out of it during King's incident. Some claim the camera failures weren't glitches, they were manual shutdowns. That means someone on the inside wanted no witnesses, no evidence, and no help. And just like that, the pieces started to fall into place. But what happened next shook the entire hospital. In the dead of night, as protesters chanted outside and his parents stood at his bedside, everything stopped. Nurses sprinted through the ICU as alarms blared, monitors flatlined. According to multiple leaked reports, King Harris's heart stopped. For nearly 2 minutes, there was no pulse, no breath, just chaos. Inside the room, Tiny collapsed as doctors pushed her out. T.I. fell to his knees, screaming, "Take me instead! Take everything I own, just don't take my boy." Nurses and doctors acted fast in a desperate revival attempt. The moment was described by one staff member as pure panic, and what happened next felt like a miracle. King's pulse returned. He was alive, but only barely. As word of the flatline spread, so did the heartbreak. News channels picked up the footage of Tawai being restrained, crying into his hands. A photo of him bent over King's hospital bed, whispering, "Daddy's right here," was plastered across social media. In just hours, it became known as the most heartbreaking image in hip-hop history. Fans reposted it with one chilling caption, "Hip-hop just watched a prince die and come back." But it wasn't over. Not even close. As King hovered between life and death, the internet took an even darker turn. Suddenly, it wasn't just about prison violence or corrupt guards. It became about karma, curses, and cold revenge. Some fans pointed to T.Wine's controversial past, his legal troubles, old beefs, power moves in the industry, and began asking, was this random or was it overdue payback? One cryptic Instagram account sent social media into a frenzy after posting, "The sins of the father fall on the son." This was never about King, it was about T. The post vanished less than an hour later, but the screenshots were everywhere. Reddit threads tore it apart, Twitter timelines turned into full-blown investigations. Who posted it? Was it someone close to the inside, or just another troll trying to gaslight the world into believing something bigger was at play? But then came the most chilling possibility. The Harris family is cursed. Some fans remembered T.Wine's previous tragedy, including the loss of his sister and legal troubles that always seemed to strike close to home. Others believe this could be spiritual, a generational curse passed down through power, fame, and pain. It sounds wild until you look at the pattern, and even the rap game started chiming in. As the news flooded every platform, the industry couldn't stay silent. Rappers, producers, media figures, everyone had something to say, but not everyone was clear. Some posted heartbreak, others posted warnings, and then there were the ones who posted clues. A well-known producer with past connections to T, I posted without naming names, "When you play with fire, eventually those flames hit your family." No tags, no image, just that line, but it spread like wildfire. Fans instantly connected it to T.I.'s past feuds, some long buried, some still simmering. YouTubers began uploading full breakdowns of his industry beefs, analyzing who might have both the motive and the connections to pull something like this off. Legends in the game, some of whom haven't spoken T.Wine's name in years, suddenly resurfaced. Some offered prayers. Others stayed eerily quiet, but the tone couldn't be ignored. People in the industry knew something, and they weren't saying it outright. And just like that, King Harris's tragedy became more than just a family nightmare. It became a hip-hop flashpoint. But what the doctor said next nearly sent the family over the edge. As the hours tick by and King's life hangs in the balance, the question haunts everyone who grew up watching the Harris family rise. Will he open his eyes again? Or is this how hip-hop says goodbye to one of its youngest sons? One thing's undeniable, whatever happens, this story has already changed everything. This isn't just about King in a hospital bed, it's about betrayal, it's about silence, and it's about a dynasty under attack, because if this was a message sent to T.I., It was signed in his son's blood. Now the streets of Atlanta wait. His family waits. The entire rap world waits. And as fans, all we can do is pray that the next headline brings hope instead of heartbreak.